Hi guys. Welcome. It's Christine. How are you all? God bless you. I wanted to come on and just share something that I had just been reminded of just recently. And so this is something that I went through a while ago and I wanted to share about, but I completely forgot. And I guess I just got distracted with other topics that I wanted to share. But this is something that I had experienced and I was just reminded of yesterday, and I wanted to come on and share about it. And that is um, when you come up against people who have been in high levels of either witchcraft or um, high levels of spiritual warfare or manipulation or intimidation or just any type of like I would say any type of behavior that is really just a coping skill or a coping mechanism of just kind of being shrewd or whatever the case may be, that it is important to really to realize that you are not going to beat them at their own game. That's it. You're not going to beat them at their own game. They have been at it much longer than you have. They have been more experienced at their levels of witchcraft, at their levels of warfare, at their levels of manipulation, at their levels of intimidation, at their levels of any type of shrewd behavior or anything that it is that they've used as a coping mechanism to get their way. And as I mentioned, this is something that I went through fairly recently, but I didn't make a video on it. I didn't share on it. I guess I forgot about it, or I got distracted or what have you. But I was reminded of it yesterday, and I came across something that reminded me of it, and I really wanted to come on and share because it was a lesson that I had went through that was really important for me to learn this. And actually somebody had wound up saying this to me when I was going through a really tough situation and I wasn't sure how to handle it, and I felt like I was caught between a rock and a hard place, and I felt like my back was up against the wall and I really didn't know how to maneuver in this situation or around the situation. And I just remember somebody saying to me very clearly, and what they said to me was, "You're not going to beat them at their own game. You're not going to beat them at their own game. They've been at it a lot longer than you have. They have been practicing their evil deeds, and they have been practicing their manipulation, and they have been practicing their witchcraft, and they have been practicing their intimidation, and they have been practicing their evil schemes and scamming and every type of evil at a lot longer time than you have, and they are much more experienced at it, and you are not going to beat them at their own game." And I have to tell you that this was so encouraging and freeing to me. And I was just so relieved to hear that truth. And though it was hard and I could cry right now, I could feel like the emotion coming up for me about this because it was a very painful situation that I went through. A very painful situation. And like I said, I was in a bind. I was in a catch-22. No matter which way I moved, if I moved to the right or if I moved to the left, I just really felt stuck and I did not know what to do and I didn't have an answer. And when somebody said that to me, it was like the light just went off for me. And it helped me to realize when they said, you're not going to beat them at their own game. You are not going to beat them on it's like they've been at this a lot longer than you have, and they have much more experience at doing their evil and doing their witchcraft and practicing their manipulations and their scheming and everything at it a lot longer. That they are going to just chew you up and spit you out like there's no tomorrow. And that was really a hard place for me to come to acceptance with. But it was encouraging to know that, you know, when you're a person of, you know, you get up and you're a person of integrity and you're a person of somewhat sort of character, and you try to live your life righteously before the Lord, and you try to live a life of honor and respect and dignity and self-worth and practice, you know, holy principles and godly character, there is no way that you are going to come up against somebody that has been practicing their evil for months, years, even decades, that has so much more experience than you. They are going to pretty much just basically, like I said, they're going to chew you up and they're going to spit you out like there is no tomorrow. And you are not fighting a fair fight, and you're not fighting on fair ground, you know, because think of it like, if you've been practicing holiness and you've been practicing godliness and godly character, you don't know what it's like to be evil on that level. You don't know what it's like to have somebody that has been doing this for years in this high level ranking type of way. And so it really is something that you have to go to God with in prayer and just really seek the Lord in prayer and fasting and wait upon the Lord to fight this battle for you, because they're so much more experienced at practicing this type of evil and this type of witchcraft that you couldn't beat them at this game. You're not operating on the same level. You know, you're playing checkers while they're playing chess in this way, and it's a good thing, but in a way it's not a good thing, because you're gonna lose, because you don't have that kind of experience that they have, just like they don't have the kind of experience that you have in practicing righteousness and practicing holiness and godly character and behavior. And this is really where the spiritual warfare and the fight gets really, really, really hard, because it really is a battle that only the Lord can handle. And only God can fight this type of battle for you. When you come up against these people that have been practicing this type of witchcraft and this type of warfare, and they are willing to just fight dirty, and they're willing to do whatever it takes, and they don't care. They would rather, you know, eat the bird alive and spit out the feathers than give into losing to you. And they will destroy you without a second thought, and they will eat you alive and chew you up and spit you out like there is no tomorrow, and they won't even have a second thought about it, because that's how evil that these type of people are. And this is the type of witchcraft and the warfare that they're involved in, that they're willing to sell their soul. They're willing to sacrifice even their own children on the altar to be able to do whatever they want to do, or get away with whatever they want to get away with, even though they know that it's wrong. And I'm telling you that I'm not talking about just unbelievers. I'm talking about people even in the church. I'm talking about believers. I'm talking about people that call themselves Christians that practice this type of behavior and this type of wrongdoing, that do not want to be held accountable, that do not want to be responsible, that do not want to take accountability for their actions, and they will lie and they will manipulate and they will scheme and they will minimize and they will deny any type of responsibility for whatever it is that they want to do, be, or have. I've gone through this personally in my own life, even to where they will try to interfere in your relationships with your family, with your own children. They will try to interfere in relationships with your own children to try to gaslight you, to try to manipulate you, to try to make you seem like you're going crazy and minimize what you're saying to be true, in order to just get away with whatever it is that they want to get away with. And it is just so sad, and it is so pitiful that these people get down like this. Even people in the church. I've seen people in the church that have had titles and have had positions and have been in leadership roles that have done these types of things to people, and have, if it wasn't for the Lord, if it wasn't for the Lord that took up our cause and that fought our battles, then our enemies would have swallowed us alive. And it reminds me of that scripture. And I don't remember what scripture it is now. I think it's Psalms 36 or something, that says, if it wasn't for the Lord, that our enemies would have swallowed us alive. And I'm just so thankful to God for fighting those battles. And it is really a hard thing to have to face when you're in this type of position. But God. And so I just wanted to come on here and share this and say that if this is something that you've gone through or something that you're going through, know that it takes time and that it might not happen overnight, but know that God will fight your battle for you and you will get through this. All you need to do is be still. Be still and know that He is God, and wait for the salvation of the Lord on your behalf. Because if you try to go up against these people, I'm telling you, you are going to really have a major fight on your hands, and you will be going up against them in the natural and not in the spirit. This is something where you really have to let God fight on your behalf, and you have to be still and know that He is God, and you have to wait upon the Lord to deliver you and to bring you up out of this. And know that if it wasn't for the Lord, that your enemies would have swallowed you alive, and it would not have ended well. So just wanted to come on here and share that, guys. All right, if don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this message and get this word out. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.